So chapter 10, right? Quick review. So we have covered chapter 10, almost chapter 10 fully. Remainder only one verse, as I know. So this chapter is divided into four sections, as you can see on the screen. Text 1 to 7 is Krishna, is the source of all, right? So that's what is being talked about. And then the 8 to 11 is the Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, right? Those are the four verses which talks about the our Sambandha, Abhideya, and Priyojana, right? Sambandha, Abhideya, and Priyojana. So,
Your iPhone charger.
okay, let me see. Okay. Uh, so Sambandha, Abhideya, Priyojana. And then the longest section is Krishna describes his Vibhuti, right? He describes his Vibhuti. And it's very similar to the previous chapter, like in chapter 7 also, it covers. Um, and and then later in chapter 9 and then chapter 10 again, Krishna's vibhutis are being described. So you see there's a repeated pattern about the various vibhutis, right, in these three chapters. Aishu, can you give me my extender, the yeah, which has the USB, the black one? Yeah. All right. So, this is the chapter 10 in the very quick nutshell. So first, let me maybe finish the last verse, and then we will come and do the summary. Okay?
And
Yes.
this is type C to type C.
Type T. Okay, that will work better maybe. Yeah. And text 42. All right. So Shiva Kiran Prabhu, would you like to read the last verse?
Yes, Prabhu.
Go ahead,
अथवा
Prabhu.
बहुनैतेन
अथवा
ज्ञातेन
वा बहुनीतेन
किं जातेन तव अर्जुन
किं तजातेन तव अर्जुन
विस्ताभ्याहम् इदं कृष्णम्
विस्तभ्याम् इदं कृष्णम्
एका एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्.
एकं सेना स्थितो जगत्.
Translation. But what need is here, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Wow. Right? So, Krishna has explained all his vibhuti, right? And then he's telling that this is nothing. What I have told you is just a very, very minuscule thing of my whole energy, right? My whole uh, personality, right? So Krishna is just telling that it's just very hard to really understand him. Just we should just see how great he is. So maybe because this is the last purport, let's if you can read the purport, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universe by his entering into all things as the Super Soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Super Soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, and down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. There is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead one to the supreme personality of Godhead or the supreme goal. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of Supreme Lord. He is the origin of every born, and no one is greater than him. He is Asamaurdhava, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. Um,
Here,
In
Prabhu,
the
here.
Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, become at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna and can fix his mind in worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the super soul, who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees, therefore, concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verse 8 through 11. That is the way of pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushana, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying, Ch.10 lashat suryadya bhavanti ati ugra tejasaha yadamshena dhritam vishwam sakrishno dashame archate. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power. And by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is worshipable. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the matter of opulence of the Absolute.
Hmm. Absolutely. And this is the, I wanted to show this diagram. And sorry, Shiva Prabhu, you're not able to see this is not working. You can come here and see, Prabhu. You can come this side. Yeah. This won't be visible on the phone. Yeah. It won't look nice. You all can see it, right?
Prabhuji, can
Yes,
we
Prabhu, we can see.
enlarge it more?
You want me to make it bigger?
Yeah.
Mataji,
Yeah.
when you go to Samamish temple, in the front desk, we have a notice board. There is a similar depiction
Yeah.
of this. Actually.
Okay. I have seen previously also, but probably now
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
will talk, maybe there's something to read.
Yes. Yes. So now, Shiva Prabhu, you try to explain what
Sure,
this picture.
Prabhu. So,
Here, go ahead, please.
yeah, so the whole universe, like coming from the starting from Garbhodaka ocean where Mahavishnu resides. Uh, so Mahavishnu is also called as like Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, and here from the once we innumerable universes uh, created from there, like we have each universe. Garbhodaya Vishnu enters, and half the water will be filled with, like half the space will be with the Garbhodaka ocean as it is shown here. And the Vishnu that is shown here is a Garbhodaya Vishnu. From there, Navel, like we could see Brahma is coming up. So here, like we are seeing at the bottom of the lotus, so where we could see the 14 planetary systems, where Bhurloka, the Earth planet, is a middle, and the top six planets are like upper planetary or higher planetary system, lower seven are the lower planetary systems. So as the Sattva increases, like we and more pious activities that one living entity performs, so they will upgrade it to the different upper planetary system based on the level of austerity, level of penance that they do. And the topmost is Satyaloka, that is Brahma's abode. And similarly, when a living entity performs the impious or vikarma, so as we studied, so they would be deployed to different lower planetary system based on their karma and reactions. So the bottommost is Patala, and the And the similar explanation, like if you see like the different devotees like that you are seeing outside of these 14 planetary systems, we are seeing the different layers. So these layers are like each layer is double of the next layer. That's how it was explained at a high level. So you could see Earth on top of is water. So water is two times the Earth layer, and the outside of water, fire layer is two times the water layer. Like that, like every layer is double the size of the previous layer. Like that, we have seven layers that is depicted outside of the every universe. So, apart from the individual lokas that we are seeing, so there are different demigods that they are deployed for the specific universal duties. So, like Durga, so which is also like a shadow of Haradini Shakti, that is Radharani, and Durga Devi is like who actually uh, gate owner or like owner of this complete. Durga means like the um, fort, we could say, right? So the material universe fort, if you consider, she is the owner, so she manages the all the energy that it is being. That is also Maya Shakti that we as we studied. And the Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, just beside Durga Mata, so that is the super soul living in every living entity. Left side, we are seeing Lord Shiva, so who is the predominating deity for the Tamoguna. So, and on the right side, that we are seeing Durga Devi, and below that, Jadananda, so material pleasure. So, where whoever is behind the material pleasure, so they would be under the judiciary of Durga Devi. She makes sure that those are, redirected. And apart from that, I think Prabhu, like from this picture, I covered everything, Prabhu. One point I would like to add, the Narakaloka, which is like the place where we get the all the punishments, that will be below the 14 planetary systems, and below within the Garbhodaksha ocean. In between, there is a planetary system which is outside of this 14 planetary, which is owned by Yamraja. I think this was recently I got to study from fifth canto.
Yes, Prabhuji. So what you're talking about, see the Patala. Patala it says Pitra Loka and hellish planets. So all the hellish planets are also considered to be the part of the Patalas, but there are different distinct, very distinct hellish planets, which the
Yes.
description is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but they're all considered to be the part of the Patalas.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. So very good description, Prabhu. Shruti Mataji, any question here? Were you able to follow? You're mute, Mataji, in case you were talking.
No, Prabhuji, this is good.
Okay, okay. Okay, Mataji.
Need to go. So eight
So-
elements of.
Okay, so eight elements. So here, see, it's just not the double. Actually, it says 10 times the diameter of the previous covering. So we know eight layers, right? So we say Mahatattva. So when the Mahatattva expands, and then from there, this each universe with like a shape of the egg, and they are how these like eight coverings are there, and it start from Earth and then to the false ego, and it keeps increasing 10 times, 10 times, 10 times of the other one, the previous one. So that's what it is, Prabhuji. And let me see, it says something. Gross, yeah, this is the gross covering and subtle covering. Okay, so mind, intelligence, false ego is the subtle covering, and so naturally that we already know. Okay, so that's what it is.
At the time of Pralaya, is it like Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, and then Brahma, Shiva, everyone gets goes into Krishna's abode?
Not Shiva, Prabhu. Shiva is always he's
There,
yeah,
okay.
he's there, right? He's
Okay.
always there.
Mhm.
Yes, Brahmaji, because he's in charge of the universe,
Mhm.
so he will. He
will,
Yeah,
okay.
he will. Yeah.
And what about Garbhodakshay Vishnu?
So
And
Garbhodakshay Vishnu is eternal, right? He's an expansion, right? So they are, yeah. So expansion. What do you mean that this Garbhodakshay Vishnu, will it also go back into
correct.
the
Yeah.
or does he always
Correct.
exist?
Because
Yeah.
Garbhodakshay Vishnu is only for this universe,
Yeah,
like that many.
expansion of the Mahavishnu, right? Expansion of the Mahavishnu. That's a good question too. I don't know, right? So logically, it would make sense That the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu will just go back to the Mahavishnu, it seems. But I think we should check on that. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are two yeah, alienations. On a regular kalpa closure, like only Satyaloka and the second top two lokas will stay back, and the rest of the lokas will be alienated. And for one day, right? Like uh, only Brahma resides, but overall Brahma's time is closer. Like everything will be closed, and it will go to Mahavishnu Brahma. So I think there is a differentiation between the alienation as well.
Yeah, so annihilation, partial annihilation, which happens every day, and then the complete annihilation, which will happen at the end of Brahma's age, right? As you're telling, the top three, they in some cases there may be been so there can be variety, but the top lokas are available. They're still there. They don't go through the complete annihilation, and all the people, all the personality from the lower loka who are eligible, they go to the Satya loka. They are there, and then finally, when the complete annihilation happens, then all the folks from the Satya loka, they also go within the Vishnu. That's what I've heard.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. So so see, this is what Krishna is talking about, right? That this is just a minute fraction of his overall energy. So this is what he's talking about. Okay, so that gives us the little idea of Krishna's opulences. He's so um, glorified, right? He's so glorified, and we understand that we we are also eternal part and parcel of Krishna. And then see, this is a nice picture which is showing how from the Mahavishnu, they're like all these universes are coming just from his pores, and then within each universes, then one Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is there, and from there the expansion happens of the Vishnu as a Paramatma, which is who is Shirodakshaya Vishnu, right? So see, and it says the scripture says that these are uncountable. We can't even count. It's just like the bubbles in the ocean, just like that. Nobody can count. That's the number of universes which is coming out from the pores of Mahavishnu, which is
So
Karuna Dakshaya
Prabhuji,
Vishnu also.
this one, like in this image, when we see multiple pictures of Vishnuji, so this is like everything is one. The previous image which you showed, that is like in
Enlarged version.
all
Yeah.
are these different. This
No,
one
so this is the enlarged version. So see each bubbles here, right?
will
So if
have
you
all
go,
those planets.
yeah, if you go inside one bubble, then
Hmm.
this is the architecture of
Oh.
that one bubble.
Oh, okay. This is one universe, and that picture shows multiple universe.
Multiple, yeah, those are uncountable universes, and this is the picture of one universe.
So
And
uncountable
what is the
Garbhodakshaya
name
Vishnus.
of this Vishnuji? What we call in that multiple bubbles?
This one, this
Yeah.
Vishnu, yeah, he's called either Karano Dakshaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu.
Okay.
Karano Dakshaya means K with the K. So it's a K-A Karuna. K-A-R, yeah, Karuno Dakshaya Vishnu or Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu. Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. And see, 4 billion. So this is the size of one universe, 4 billions in diameter. And we'll watch this video, we'll see what it is. So I have to stop and share with the sound. Just hold on. Stop sharing. And sorry. Share with include content sound. Okay, maybe here.
Is it remote desktop?
Yeah, here it might be headphone. That's the reason. Okay, now it will. Yes. And full screen.
AI fluent in 2026. Watch this.
Please stop using ChatGPT and Canva like children's toy. AI will create more than the internet did in.
How do animals know when and what to do what they do?
Sometimes contradictory facts that cannot be accommodated begin to accumulate, and this may provoke a crisis. Then scientists may be forced to modify or change their paradigm.
The dance of the honeybee is a unique example of a complex communication system, because in this one dance, the honeybee communicates the distance and direction to a flower field to the members of its hive.
Instincts, I would say, are predisposed pathways in the nerve net in the brain.
Just newborns fly across from Alaska to Australia and New Zealand, a distance of 11,000 kilometers that these newborn birds cover in 8 days without stopping for food, rest, or water.
With evolutionary biologists, there is generally one explanation for anything that's inherited. The origin is considered to be just a random mutation.
How do the salmon know how to migrate back upstream against the river's current back to their freshwater birthplace after spending several years in the open sea in salt water?
I think another reason to suspect this idea that there can be selection for this and for this and for this separately, it doesn't seem very plausible when you're talking about the complexity of the way of life of any kind of organism. This idea of adding piece by piece is in some sense logical, but in another sense it just doesn't feel right. An organism is not a machine. It doesn't have pieces that come apart and put back together again.
Okay. So basically, this picture was basically showing us that how we all been taught about the Darwin's theory, right? Darwin's theory of evolution. But after learning the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is telling these are all coming from him, it just to even to the scientific community is explaining that if we just look into the current Darwin's theory, what are some of the flaws and how we cannot explain it, right? So that's the reason why we've watched this Nature's IQ. Okay, so chapter 10 was about the Vibhuti Yoga. What are some of the lessons we can learn? Open-eyed meditation. Can any of you explain what is this open-eyed meditation? So Vilas Prabhu has written a book also on this open-eyed meditation.
Prabhu, that means like whatever we see, we can see the Krishna in that form.
Hmm. Yes, yeah. So we can look into any object and we feel that Krishna is there. How to see Krishna? And for that, we don't need to close the eyes. We can keep the eyes open and still we can see Krishna. So that's what the open-eyed meditation means here. Yes, Prabhu, you're right. Okay. Um, then how great is the God, right? So that we learn how great is the God. So many vibhutis we have learned about it. Then what about the point 3? Give mercy to get it. What it is? So see, ultimately we need the mercy of Krishna to understand Krishna, right? But how we can advance? To advance, we have to start seeing Krishna in every being, right? And when we see Krishna in every being and we show our compassion to those, then slowly we start and we become humble. That opens, that attracts Krishna's gaze as at us, and then Krishna's open the door. So that's the reason saying give mercy to get it. Okay? Make sense? And learn from the best, which is who is the best?
Mahatma.
Mahatma, then of course coming from Krishna to Arjuna to Mahatmas, right? And then see the God connection in everything. Everything we see, if we can see the God connection, even the fish or in our house, even the walls or our spouse, our relationship, we can see each and everything in relationship with the Krishna. That is what the true Krishna consciousness is all about. Okay, so we'll just do a quick summary of chapter 10. Okay, and I won't stop at every place, so it will be very quick. Okay, so we started. So this is the connection, right, with chapter 9. Um, okay, okay. So chapter 7, Krishna is in energy. Chapter 8 is how to reach Krishna. Chapter 9 is all about bhakti, which is this is the, what was the verse? Which says that it is the most confidential knowledge and it is the Raj Vidya, right? So just chapter 9, and then how to remember. So the progress is initially when we are learning about the topic, we say why, right? So our initial question is why, but then once we get the um, confidence on the answer of the why, then the next topic is how to do it better, right? How I can improve my bhakti. So once the first question is why bhakti. So that we have learned. Then how to perform that bhakti, and that's chapter 10 is talking about how to remember. So that was there in chapter 9 also, 9.34 manmanamat bad bhakto, right? But then it is further explained in chapter 10. Okay, so and then chapter 11 we will go into the there will be connection, which because here Arjuna is setting up the context. Okay, I would like to see you, right? And then chapter 11, that's the context will be Krishna will show his form, and then there will be discussion on the three different ways to understand Krishna. Okay, and then finally chapter 12 will conclude for the bhakti section, like who is dear to Krishna, who is most dear to Krishna. Okay, so chapter 9 was. Is there somebody trying to speak? Just the background noise we are getting.
Some background noise, Prabhu.
Some background noise. Okay, okay, okay. So we chapter 9 was the most confidential knowledge, and then chapter 10 Krishna again says is the most confidential knowledge. And what we have understood, what was the difference between chapter 9 and chapter 10?
Chapter 9 talks about how, whereas,
Avidya.
Rajavidya.
Mhm.
And 10, how to do that, and
Yeah.
also talks about, the different vibhutis.
Yeah, so see, chapter 9 was most confidential. That what is most confidential? And that was bhakti. And then chapter 10 is how to do that bhakti. So of course, from that, Krishna is telling that chapter 10 is going to, I'll be teaching you the most of the most confidential. So in that way, he's not wrong. And he's not wrong in chapter 9 also when he's telling that I'm going to teach you the most confidential. So most confidential indeed is bhakti. But then how to perform that bhakti to achieve the goal of the bhakti, that he is explaining in chapter 10. Okay, so and then of course the relationship of God and this world, those were talked about, right? And then the different type of worshippers who comes to Krishna and do not come to Krishna, those things were talked about. And the greatness of devotee of Krishna, that was talked about. And then chapter 10 picked up from there. Okay, so we had talked about this Mataji, right? How how much trust she had on Krishna, and even though she shouldn't have survived, but she survived, and how much service she continues to do it today also. And she has written so many books. We had talked about that. And then this was the synopsis of the chapter 10, Krishna's position as the origin of everything. And 8 to 11 was Chatur Shloki, and then Arjuna's acceptance and his request to show opulences. So here, Krishna has shown the opulences by giving the understanding, comparing with the analogy and showing who he is. But in chapter 11, that will be further gone and further taken and expanded. Okay. Um, so, so of course, the whole the topic of like what we're talking about here is the Uttama Bhakti, which is also called Kevala Bhakti or Suddha Bhakti. Okay. Um, So, Krishna is telling that I am unborn and beginless, one who knows this knows all, right? So, and it is very hard to understand him and who is the God. We have given that this is the definition of the God. Engine is not carried by anything. Engine carries itself and all the other bogies behind it, right? So that's the definition of God. So so when people say that, oh, if there is the origin of, if there is a source of everything, there must be a source of God, right? That is wrong, because there is no source. If we say that there are things in this world where we don't see the source, and this is the example of an engine, right? So that's how we can understand that God is the source of everything. There is no other source. That's the definition of the God. Okay. Um, and then Chatur Shloki, the way we see the analogy is that this is the child of a rich person, and he is lost. And how do we, so first we search, then we try to cure him by bringing his lost memory, and then this child returns. So this is exactly the concept of the sambandha. So first establish who we are, what is our relationship with the supreme. So that is the search. Once we understand that, okay, then how to get there, what is the process? That's avideya, the process. And then priyojana, what is, once we get there, what we have to do, what is the ultimate goal? That is the prema. Okay, so only these four verses talks about the three subject matter, right? So in the eighth sambandha, aham sarvasya prabhu, is telling that I am the supreme, I am the prabhu of everything, right? So that's the sambandha. He's telling that's our relationship. Then avideya, how to do it? Mat chit mat gat prana, right? All our chitta, right? The whole purpose of our chitta is to always think of Krishna, right? From our inner core of our heart, think of Krishna. Then tesam sittam yuktanam, right? Okay, always glorifying Krishna. And then tesam evanukam partham, right? These are two from the priyojana. Okay. And the Krishna is the original source for all spiritual worlds, right? And this we have talked about. Then the next happens is about the how Arjuna is accepting Krishna. So that this is how Arjuna is accepting. He's telling that, oh, I understand Krishna. This is how Narada and Ashita and Devala and Vyasa have talked about, and so I'm really understanding this exactly the way they have understood. And then um, uh, he continues saying that, okay, please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervades all these worlds. So he said that I understood it, but now please give me some examples. And he's not only talking about himself, right? He is asking this question so that today we can understand. He already knew about it, right? Many times the devotees will ask the question, even though they know the answer, they will ask the question for the people in the room. So that's exactly what Arjuna is doing. Okay. Um, and then he says, okay, Arjun, again, please describe in detail. I have become greedy to hear from you. Okay, and then Krishna says, okay, I'll tell you who I am. And so here, you see Arjuna's reason why he's asking. So for the sake of common people, on behalf of the common people and especially impersonalists, who is in particular concerns themselves with the all-pervading nature of the Supreme, right? So they think the God, the only form of the God is all-pervading. He doesn't has the personal form, right? So he just wanted to ask that question for them also. Then for the sake of materialistic, also wants to know how a materialistic who is absorbed in physical things can see Krishna manifested by physical representation. So how, if I'm only materialistic person, how in seeing the different things in my life in and around me still I can see Krishna and see his presence, right? So that is the other person, other reason. And of course, the third reason is for personal absorption. Arjuna wants to know how shall I constantly think of him. And then the final is to taste the nectar, wants to hear more and more and more. And so this is the natural progression that devotees never get tired of hearing about Krishna. Um, and so now the opulences of the absolute Krishna talks about, and we went to six avatar. We have seen this, and here he does a lot of comparison. Each category he picks, each category, and he says that of that category, whatever is the best, Krishna is telling that who I am. Right, so that's the different way Krishna represented, and that's it carried through all the verses. Okay, and you see here Lord Krishna's unlimited. This is one summary, right? You can see this one summary here. And I'll go and make it a little bigger. Okay. Here. Okay. So amongst the demigod, of all the demigods, I'm Indra, Aditya, I'm Vishnu, Maruta, I'm Marichi, Sage, similarly. And then there's a category others, right? Of the lights, I'm a radiant sun. Of the stars, I am the moon. Of the mountain, I am Meru. Then of the philosophical truth, I'm super soul in all things, entities in the heart, living being, I'm the living force. Uh, and then in the animals, how I'm elephant, I'm Airavat, from the cows I'm Surbi, in the law and crime, how in the subduer I'm as a time, of the qualities, right, of the wise I am the wisdom. So this is the whole summary of all the things Krishna has talked so far, right? And then of the Vedic vibrations, I am the transcendental Om, of the sacrifice and the chanting of the holy of the holy names, right? So this is just a quick summary of all the Krishna's Vibhuti which we have heard so far. Okay. How to see Krishna's opulences in our life. Okay. And so even like this is one famous real life story of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was um, once traveling on the plane, and that time we won't have the personal screen for each seat in the plane, right? There would be a common TV which each section would watch, and they will be running the same movie program for the whole plane. And we can just plug in the audio phone, yes, and then we can hear. So Prabhupada was just he put it and he started laughing, and devotees are thinking, oh, Prabhupada is watching a movie, and he's laughing. So they were little amazed that we say the devotee don't typically, they are always thinking of Krishna and why Prabhupada is watching, and after while Prabhupada is watching, then he puts the comment. See, he is making us laugh like this, but Krishna is the ultimate. He's the most jovial person. He is the one who can laugh, who can make everyone laughed, right? So while he's watching Charlie Chaplin, he's comparing that how Charlie Chaplin is the small minuscule of Krishna's another opulences, where he's like totally full of lot of fun, right? And how Charlie Chaplin can make everybody laugh, and how much Krishna can make people laugh, right? So he's still thinking of Krishna. And this is the good example how in our daily life, even the smallest small thing, we can make the connection to Krishna. Okay. Um, Again, Einstein. Similarly, if you think of Einstein, we say, oh, his brain came from Krishna. How he's super intelligent. Okay. So these are the other different things. Okay. And then in text 40, Krishna is saying, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Mere indication, just indication, not. It's not even that it is the minuscule thing, just an indication, right? So, and know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creation spring from but a spark of my splendor. So I think, see, 40 is talking about the same thing. 41 in a different way, it's explaining the same thing. 42, what is the need of all this detailed knowledge with a single fragment of myself? I pervade and support this entire universe. Wow. So this is, in a nutshell, chapter 10. Very quick review. Any question, thoughts, comments? Okay, so then we will move to chapter 11. Ready? Okay, so we will go to chapter 11, which is the universal form. And we already went over this. We've already covered that this how the chapter 10 was there. Okay, so here's the connection. What is the need for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. And we have discussed this diagram of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So when Arjuna hears about this wonderful form of Krishna, he's curious to see this form, right? So it's a natural curiosity. Krishna is explaining, this is who I am, this is what I do. Now, naturally, anybody who is in love, they'll say that, okay, you're talking so much about this, can you please show it to me? And that's exactly what chapter 11 is doing. So here Arjuna is asking the first question, Mad Anugrahaya Paramam
Mat anugrahaya paramam
Guhyam Adhyatma Samjnitam
guhyam adhyatma samjnitam
Yat Tvaikuttam Vyakchastena
yatvak yuktam vyachastena
Mohoyam Vigato Mama.
mohoyam vigato mama.
Arjuna said, by my hearing the instruction you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subject, my illusion has now been dispelled. And next, realize. So he's telling that, O Lotus I1, I have realized your inexhaustible glories, and by your mercy. So thing is, so far I have realized all this by your mercy. So here example of one son having different names, right? So here, okay, so how many names does God have, right? So the many times people ask, okay, how many names is the God the same we are talking about? And it's just telling that, just think, even the things what we observe in our life, like sun, how many different names it has, right? Sun has so many different names. So why there will be any limited name for Krishna? And so far there are 68 names, 68 different names which has been called out for Krishna, right? So you see chapter 1, so somebody has gone and done this hard work. See, different chapters, how many different distinct name of Krishna has been talked about. And chapter 10 has 13 different names, but chapter 11 has 36 different names. 36 different names. So here, again, different names. Achyuta, Adi Deva, very nice. I think it's not, it's not required for our study, but it just tells that how different beautiful names can be used to call out Krishna, which shows his personality, his characteristic. Okay, so you see, and then the reference is where it is coming from. Okay. So the analysis of the name, there are the names can be categorized into two categories. One is the primary and the other is secondary. Primary is related to spiritual world, and then the secondary is related to material world. And the way we can understand it, you see the primary, Krishna is the most attractive. Yashoda Nandana, right? He's the son of Yashoda. He's Govinda. He's the pleasure giver of cows. Shyam Sundar. He's the most beautiful. Gopinath. He is the Nath of the gopis. So this is, see how it is all related with the pastime which is happening in the spiritual world. Secondary is Jagan Nivas. How we can understand Jagan Nivas? What does it mean?
Pervading across the universe.
Yeah, he's pervading in all the universe. And then Paramatma as the localized aspect. Vidhata, who is managing everything, right? So he's managing like the manifestation. Parameshwara, who is the god of all the demigods, Almighty. So these are the different, so two categories, and all the names can be put into on the respective categories depending on the name. So this is how the Krishna names are named. Okay, so here are some of the examples. So just as the sun is one, but is known by different names in different places, so the Lord is one, but his names are many. It is not that God is many and therefore his names are also many. So that is the wrong understanding. Many times people think that this is we are talking about a different God. Vishnu is different name from Krishna, but ultimately we know that these are all the expansions. We are talking about the same God. Even in fact, even demigods, they are the expansion, right? We ourselves are the expansion.
Part and parcel.
We ourselves are the expansions. So here you said, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Krishna says, yes, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that forms of yours. Right? This is what Arjuna is very curious to see, that how, when Krishna is telling that with a single fragment I pervade, which is said in the last verse of 42, Arjuna is curious how that is happening. So people will ask, okay, why Arjuna really wanted to see. So here to help people, and so we talked about in the previous chapter also, to help people understand Krishna's glory, to establish Krishna's divinity for all, to convince others that Krishna is truthful, and to set a criteria. So what do we understand by the last sentence, to set a criteria? What does it mean here?
We have new generation gods. So everybody says like he might be a god. So then we have a standard that to be proved as a god, like we that person should have certain qualities. So it sets the standard kind of.
Yeah, just and then they should be able to show the universal form. Means if they are really God, that so that is the main thing is God has the power to show his universal form. So other people who claim, let them show their universal form, right? So that's this setting the criteria. So because many people they can copy, oh, I have this quality, and people may believe, right, some of the qualities. Of course, they cannot go and lift the Govardhan with a single finger, or that too from the left pinky, right? Those things, of course, they cannot do. But the main thing is they should be able to show the universal form. So the Supreme Lord is everywhere in everything, but it does not mean that everything is God. God or his incarnations are not ordinary, and a person, however great, cannot become God ever. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, then kindly show. So Arjuna is asking, if you think that if I am able to behold, he understands that whether I am fit, am I eligible to see Krishna's form? Because many times, as we are becoming even the practitioner devotee, we think that, oh Krishna, please show me your form. So here we have to have that humble mood, that the mood like Arjuna, that if you so desire, if you think that I am worth showing your form, right? Then kindly show your form. So that humbleness has always need to be this. We cannot say that, oh, I'm your devotee, so Krishna, please show your form. Right? So we cannot, that shouldn't be our attitude. Our attitude, it should be always with the very humble mood. So you are Yogeshwara. And then here from 5 to 8, Krishna description of his own universal form, what Arjuna is going to see. So see, Krishna knows that what Arjuna is going to see, he has not seen it ever. Nobody has seen it ever. So Krishna is describing in word before he shows the form what one should expect, just like a trailer. That this is what you should expect, what's going to happen in the movie. So that my eyes are ready, that what I should like. If it's going to be 3D movie, okay, there will be glasses, and you are going to perceive the depth. This is what's going to happen in the movie theater. There will be other people. So we are getting ready, right? So it is. So that's what Krishna is doing here, and he's now finally he's telling, "Behold my opulences." Right? It is behold means how we can describe it. Behold, uh, it's going to be
So
mysterious. It's going to be dominating, right? It's going to be something which may be very hard, but still you would like to just keep seeing it. So there can be different meaning to that. Behold my opulences. And then my opulences, he talks about hundreds of thousands of varied colored forms. And he was Aditya, Vasus, Rudra, Ashwani Kumar, other demigods. See what no one has ever seen or heard or before. present, future, whatever you wish to see, here itself, now itself, you are going to see everything, present, future, and means everything. There's nothing you cannot see. And then he knows that Arjun, you cannot see with your eyes, so Krishna gives give him the special vision through which he can see. And this was done before also, right? When was it done? When the people were given the special vision to see Krishna?
Rasta was given.
This Rasta was offered, but then he refused and he asked.
Blindness again.
He requested that let Sanjay see it, right? Let Sanjay see it. And Krishna blesses Arjuna with divine vision, but you can't see me with your present eyes. I'm giving you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulences. And then as we are talking about, as we need glasses to watch 3D movie, similarly Arjuna was given divine vision to see Lord's form. So now Sanjaya is describing what was shown to Arjuna, the universal form. So in the next 5 verses, 9 to 14, Sanjaya description of what was shown to Arjuna, the universal form, will be shared. Okay, so let me go and see how many sections it is, and so that we can go and read and not keep going just like that. Okay, so we can read 5 to 8, right? The summarized description of universal form. So Arjuna is making the request in 1 to 4, 5 to 8 is the description of the universal form, and then 9 to 14 is what did Arjuna see, and then the Sanjaya's narration. So let's go over and read this, and then we'll come back to this PowerPoint. All right? Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Yes, yeah, we can read from the book now. Yes.
We read the sloka as well, Prabhu.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu. Just hold on. Oh, I went to chapter 10. What you were telling, Prabhu? Sorry, what was that?
Should we start reading verse as well, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. So we'll read the verses and the translation. Okay. So we can go just in circle. So Shiva Prabhu, you want to start here? Yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha Madangrahaya paramam guhyam sangitam
Mad angruhaya paramam guhyam adhyatma samjitam
yatvayoktam vachastena
yatvektotam vachastena
mohoyam vigato
mama
madanugrahaya paramam
mad anugrahaya paramam
guhyam adhyatma
samjitam
yatvayoktam vachastena mohoyam
vigato mama. Yes, translation. You want the English one?
Arjuna, okay. Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled.
Okay, so Arjuna is telling, after hearing all what has been covered up to chapter 10, is telling all my illusion has been dispelled. I understand who you are. Okay. Okay, next, Prabhuji.
Next text.
Yes.
Bhavapyayau hi bhutanam
Bhavayaupi hi bhutanam
Shrutau
vistarasho maya
Tvattaha kamalapatraksha
Tvatta kamalapatraksha
Mahatmyamapi chavyayam.
Mahatmya api chavyayam.
O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories.
Hmm. So see how, so the main thing is, see, Krishna is being referred as lotus eyes, right? So that is again how his eyes are so beautiful, right? And this description is at most places you'll see this lotus eyed. Even in the Bhagavatam and other Puranas also have this wonderful description. And whenever I hear, I see that the person who is talking about, how much love they must be in with Krishna. Of course, Krishna is the most beautiful. He is the most beautiful, right? But then even the devotee who's calling him out, how much love they have for Krishna, right? So because whenever you are in love, then only you start calling this beautiful name. So it also gives me a joy to hear that um, a pure devotee can have this different words to call out Krishna. Okay, chapter 3, Prabhuji.
Shall I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, up to 4.
Yeah. एवमेतत् यथात्वत्वा
एवमेतद् यथार्थत्वा
आत्मानं परमेश्वर
आत्मानं परमेश्वर
द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम्
द्रष्टुम् इच्छामि ते रूपम्
ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम.
ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तमा.
O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
Right. So this is where the discussion was that Arjuna just want to set the criteria, right? So he had that people will say why Arjuna want to see it, and that's we discussed, right? There can be various reasons, and one of the reason is that Arjuna wanted us to see that there are very high bar, that if somebody say that who God is, these are the things they should be able to do, right? So by requesting Krishna to show his universal form, Arjuna is setting the bar. Okay. 4.
मन्यसे यदि तच्चक्यं
मन्यसे यदि तक्चक्यं
मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो
मया दृष्टुमिति प्रभो
योगेश्वरा ततो मे त्वं
योगेश्वरा ततो मे त्वं
दर्शयात्म्यानमव्ययम्.
दर्शयात्मानमव्ययम्.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all my mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self.
Right. So he says purport. It is said that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor perceive the Supreme Lord Krishna by the material senses. But if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. Every living entity is only a spiritual spark. Therefore, it is not possible to see or to understand the Supreme Lord. Right? If I'm only spark, how can I know about the whole source? Because I don't even have the capability to see the whole source. I can only see me or anything which is within me, right? So that's the very logical understanding. So Arjuna as a devotee does not depend on his speculative strength. Rather, he admits his limitation as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's in insetimable ins, insetimable position. Arjuna could understand that for a living entity it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. The word Yogeshwara is also very significant here because the Lord has inconceivable power. Okay, okay. So 5 to 8, Shruti Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Shri Bhagwan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Pasya me Partha Rupani
Pasya me Partha Rupani.
Sada Sotha Saha. Prabhuji, tough for me.
Just try. Yeah, just try it. See, you can try the Hindi one also. It's okay.
Okay.
Sat, yeah, just read Sat. Sataso
Sasotha
Tat
Sahasraha
Sahasrashah Sahasrashah. Yes,
Nana Vidhani Devyani
very good. Nana Vidhani Divyani
Nana Varna Kritani Cha.
Nana Varna Kritani Cha. Very good. Translation?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, O son of Partha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine, and multicolored forms."
Right? So we talked about that. Before anybody is going to see something complex which they have not seen in their life, it is advisable for the teacher to set the expectation. This is what you should expect. That's exactly what Krishna is doing here. 6.
Uh, Pashyaditya Yanuva Sunar.
Yeah, Pash. So you can see what I do. Sometimes reading the Devanagari, because it's like one big word.
Big word, yeah.
We don't know where to break. That time I read the English, right? So you see here it becomes much simpler. Pashyaditan Vashun Rudran, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Pasya Vasun Rudran.
Pashyadityan Vash. Just up. Yeah. So we'll repeat every line, Mataji. Okay. So you read one line, let's stop, and then we'll repeat. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Asvinau Marutas
Ashvinau Marutas
Bahuni Adrasta Purvani
Bahuni Adasta Purvani.
Pashacharyani Bharata.
Very good. Pashya Shreyani Bharata. Yeah.
O best of Bharatas, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before.
Hmm. So now as he started giving the different examples that you will be seeing Aditya, you will see Vasu, you are seeing Rudras, and then he's saying, behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So just now he's telling that okay, these are the things which I'm calling about, but you are also going to see which nobody has even heard or seen before. So just be ready. Okay? Okay, 7.
Ahikyastham Jagat Krishtanam
Ahikyastham Jagat Krishnam.
Pasyada Sacharna Charashcharam
Very good. Pashyadya Sacharacharam.
Mam Dehe Gudakesha
Mam Dehe Gudakesha.
Yachchanyad Drishtum Ichhasi.
Yachanya Drishtum Ichhasi. Very good.
O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non moving is here completely in one place.
Wow, see how it is possible to even comprehend that what Krishna is telling, that just not seeing even what's going to happen in the future and what happened in the past, and he's telling just as if we can, like Arjun can walk and he can just keep seeing, right, all the things he ever wants. He has to just desire and those things will be there in that view. Wow. Okay, Mataji. 8.
Na tu mam sakyasi drashtam
Na tu mam sakyasi dristvam
aneneva swachakshusha
aneneva swachakshusha
divyam dadami te chakshu
divyam dadami te chakshu
pashya me yogam eshwaram.
pashyami yogam aishwaram. Yes, Mataji.
But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
Mm. So here, see, I'm just quickly, I was reading the purport right here. Prabhupada is also contrasting that how devoted. So even though Krishna is showing opulences, and sometimes you may think that, oh, this is what we should really focus or worship on. But here, Prabhupada is telling that pure devotee, they don't care about the opulences. So even the opulences are being taught here. And this is good. In the beginning phase, understanding Krishna's opulence, how great he is, it's going to create the humility. It creates the want in my heart, desire. I really want to see Krishna. I want to serve Krishna. He's so great. But ultimately, the devotees, they just want to be in a loving relationship with Krishna. So see here what it says. Prabhupada is saying, devotees who are correctly situated in a transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by loving features, not by a godless display of opulences. The playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never want Krishna to show his opulence. They are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So they take him as a personal friend. Therefore, Sukadeva Goswami recite this verse. So here is the Supreme Person who is considered the impersonal Brahman by great sages, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, and a product of material nature by ordinary men. Now these boys who have performed many pious activities in their past lives are playing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. All right. So here now Sanjaya. Sanjaya is our Shiva Kiran Prabhuji. Go ahead. He's our
Sanjay
Sanjaya.
Uvacha.
Sanjaya
Sanjay
Uvacha.
Uvacha. Evamuktva tado rajan.
Evam muktva tato rajan
Mahayogeshwaro harihi.
Mahayogeshwaro Harihi
Darshayamasha pardhaya.
Darshayamasa Parthaya
Paramam rupamaishwaram.
Paramam Rupameshwaram.
Translation. Sanjay said, O king, having spoken thus, the supreme lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna.
Mhm. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Aneka vaktra nayanam.
Aneka Vaktra Nayanam
Anekadbhuta darshanam.
Anekadbhuta Darshanam
Aneka divyabharanam.
Aneka Divya Abharanam
Divyaneko
Devaneko Dathayudam
Divyamalyambaradharam.
Divyamalyabaradharam
Divyagandhanulepanam.
Divyagandhanulepanam
Sarvacharyamayam devam.
Savyasharayam Devam
Anantam vishwatomukam.
Anantam Vishwato Mukham.
Translation. Arjuna saw in the universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding.
Yes. So many celestial ornaments bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. So I'm just thinking, right? Like, so of course there is like a unlimited mouth, unlimited eyes. So there's one category. Then how like the other categories, all those body part are decorated with the different celestial ornaments. And then all the different kind of weapons also. And then he's wearing celestial garlands. Like again the beauty, right? Again, so it is showing the physical form and then the description of what is on that physical form, right, which is the different ornaments and the weapon and the garment. And then even the saints are described like many divine scents. It means that Arjuna can smell those scents, right? So he was not only
seeing, he's also
yeah, so it's not only 3D. Actually, it's like in a completely 4D world, right? The 4D like we experience also, right? When we go and watch the 4D, there will be scent and everything. So he's in the
Oh, 5D
complete
also, like time also you're seeing, right?
time.
Past to
Time also
present,
actually
5D.
5D. Yes, 5D actually 5D. Very good point. Yes, 5D. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. Very good, Prabhu. Yeah. 12, Prabhu. Go ahead.
दिवि सूर्यसहस्रस्य
Devi Surya Sahasrasya
भवेद् युगपद् उत्थिता
Bhavet Yukpada Uttita
यदि बाहु सदृशी सा स्यात्
Yadi Bahu Sadarsi Sasat
भासस्तस्य महात्मनः.
Vasatasya Mahatmanaha.
Translation: If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form.
Of hundreds of so see, just to, so it may, and then he says that it might, even though it is not sure that it will, right? It might, if hundreds of thousands of suns were to ride at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Right? He's saying, and that too universal form. The real Krishna is not talking about, even in that universal form. And it might. There is no guarantee. Huh? 13, Prabhuji.
तत्रैकस्तं जगत्कृष्णं
Tatraika statam jagat krishnam
प्रविभक्तम् अनेकधा
prabhibhaktam anekadha
अपश्याद्देवदेवस्य
apasyad deva devasya
शरीरे पाण्डवस्तदा.
sarire pandavastada.
At the time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands.
Okay, so just read carefully. In that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansion of the universe. Right? See how anything unlimited can be shown in the limited form in that universal form. Like it like so bewildering, right? I'm just like we can't even fathom and comprehend, right? Un- Krishna created a form where unlimited can be shown. Yeah. Right, Prabhu? Can we just fathom? And that too all situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. So just at one place, Arjuna is standing and he can see all those things. So like as if like he's standing in one place, but just through his desire, he can walk that universal form, right? Like he can just, he seems that he can see anything, right? He can just, he's standing physically here, but as he's desiring, he's just seeing the expansion of expansion. He's saying that although divided into many, many thousands. Wow, like it's very hard to understand. Wow. 14.
ततः स विस्मयाविस्तो
तथा सा विस्मया विष्टो
पृष्ठरोमा धनाञ्जयः
हृष्टरोमा धनञ्जया
प्रणम्य शिरसा देवम्
प्रणमया शीर्षा देवम्
कृताञ्जलिरभाषत.
कृताञ्जलिरभसासता.
Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord.
Hmm. So here Arjuna was inspired by the relationship of wonder. And in that wonder, although he was by nature very sober, calm and quiet, he became ecstatic. His hair stood up and he began to offer his obeisances unto the Supreme Lord with folded hands. He was not, of course, afraid. He was affected by the wonders of the Supreme Lord. The immediate context is wonder. His natural loving relationship was overwhelmed by wonder, and thus he reacted in this way. So it's not so because one thing is when I'm upfolding my palm, it can be due to the fear, right? But here this is like whenever I'm just reflecting on this. Many times when we meet our friends, right, and we are very happy and or like
Go ahead.
yeah, so we just like we just say namaste and then we hug, right? Like so it's just like that. So that's the kind of so this emotion of folding his palm is coming from the wonder, not from the fear. And see, like acharyas know, right? Like we would have just read and went ahead, right? Okay, that's great. But acharya is somebody may come and ask, like, oh, was he afraid? And Prabhupada is answering preemptively that's no, he's not scared. He just like wondrous. Wow, I thought that he's my friend, but wow, how wonderful it is. And suddenly the hand is folded, right? Yeah. Okay, 14. So we covered that. Let's see. Hmm. So we cover, okay. So now from 15 to 34, experience by seeing who are you, I am the time. So it is the complete understanding what Arjuna is going to see. So right now, first section means after Arjuna requested, Krishna is getting ready to show. So he creates the preamble that this is what you are going to see. And then Krishna gives the eyes to Arjuna, and now Krishna is showing the form. And when Krishna is showing the form, the first is Sanjaya is observing it, and he is describing it to Dhritarashtra. Now Arjuna is going to tell the world what he is seeing, and that is from 15 to 34. So that's what's going to happen. So at this point of time, any question so far? No question, right? Very, everything is very self.
Prabhuji, you were saying that Dhritarashtra didn't wanted to have that vision, what was offered to them Sanjaya. Why was it he didn't wanted to see?
So there is a commentary on this that he was he was in the heart of his heart, he knew that he is wrong and his sons are wrong, right? He knew that, but then due to his attachment, he always thought that we can win, means his side can win, because you have Pitama, you have Drona, right? And you have all this, the size of the army is like almost twice, right? 7 versus 11 Akshoni, right? So there was a conflict going in his mind, and that's the reason, because he thought that if I get the eye, and if I see that, oh, my son are going to die, and then so you just want to keep your faith longer and longer, that maybe my side will win. And that's the reason he said that, no, 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 don't give it to me, give it to Sanjaya, right? So that's what our Acharya has commented on.
But Virat Roop, Dhritarashtra did not see Prabhu when Krishna came as a Shanti Duta and then.
So no, that time,
At
okay,
that
so
time.
that time, yeah, there were some devotee, they did see it. So that time, lot of devotees, but that Virat Roop was not as extensive,
Of course,
as it
yes.
was not exactly the same thing. It's a
Correct,
different
correct.
kind of a Virat, limited Virat, limited Virat
Correct.
Roop. Yeah. Mataji, makes sense?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, yeah, that is the reason probably in his mind. But just situationally, if he would have known that he could see Krishna's this kind of form, probably he would have said yes or no, just
No, so
for.
but no, no, but see, it's the same thing here. Shiva Prabhu asked here in the room that, so this is not the one time the universal form has been shown. There are three different instances where universal form was shown. The other instances was when Krishna goes as the messenger, the last try he is doing to stop the war. So he goes as a messenger to the Kaurava's court, and then suddenly Duryodhana goes crazy and he says that arrest Krishna, and that time Krishna shows the universal form. So that time when he was shown that, it's not that everybody saw that in the assembly, but of course Dhritarashtra was blind, so he didn't see it, right? Of course, if Dhritarashtra would have been so intelligent that he wanted to see this form, then he wouldn't be in that case, he would not even be that attached to his son, he would be attached to the god. But his attachment to the son was overwhelmingly higher than his attachment or his understanding of the god. He was well learned it, right? He knew who the god is. He went to the gurukul, he got the same education, but his attachment was so overwhelming, so high, that he just like a small baby, right? Peekaboo we do, right? Peekaboo, peekaboo we do. So that he want to be in illusion. So he just wanted to be in the illusion. And that was coming all due to his attachment to his son.
Yes. And even the devotees, which they say in the it was there, no, that even everybody just doesn't want to see Krishna's that form, and they just want. Probably that is the reason, because then they won't be able to love that way. It is only kind of just a respect relation, and then you don't
Right.
have that prop like openness in the relationship, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So see, devotee don't desire to see the universal form, right? Devotees read it. They have the full faith. Krishna is the supreme God, and this whole universe is just a one particle of his whole opulences. So devotee is satisfied with that, right? Devotee, if they desire anything, they desire the personal form of Krishna, which is the two-handed Syam Sundar form, right? So that's the
Hmm.
devotee's typical desire, because they don't want to get caught up in the Aishwarya. They want to
Hmm.
come beyond the Aishwarya to the Madhurya.
Hmm. Right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, yes, Mataji. So here Krishna showed his universal form, right? Um, and this is the picture depiction which we see. It is very hard for any artist to draw this thing, right? What Arjuna was seeing, but the artists have tried to make those attempts, right? And they are trying to show it from all the different sides. Just assume that Arjuna is standing at one place, and throughout, like a 360 view, he's seeing this universal form all everywhere, divided into different things. Something's happening, and then as he's desiring, he can see a lot more and more, right? So it's very hard for the artist to even render anything like that. I think they have done a good job over here, but it's very hard. So now Arjuna is bewildered and astonished. Vishmaya, right? So that is Vishmaya, Avisto. Okay, but it says Roma, Dhananjaya, Hrista Roma, right? He's very happy. Hristya Roma, right? He's very like his Rome, like so. It's like every part of the body is like romanchit, right? It's like wondrous. That's the reason he says it's wonder. It's not the so both the characters Vishmaya, Ascharya, right? But then Hristya Roma also is there. So now, 15 to 19, Arjuna speaks his realization of the universal form. So we'll cover 15 to 19, then we'll end by 19. Okay. So here, Pashyami Devam Stava Deva Dehe, who all, right? So he's seeing all demigod entities, Brahma, Shiva, and all sages he will be seeing. He'll seeing the form like many arms, bellies, mouth, eyes, many crowns, clubs, until where it's seeing. It is spreading everywhere, no end, middle, or beginning. Right? So he's keep desiring, he's walking through his desire, and you can see that there is no end. He just keeps seeing, keeps seeing. It's just like a have you seen the infinity mirror?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When go to the place infinity mirror, you just keep seeing there's no end to it. Right? We can just compare something like that. There's no end to it. But in the infinity mirror, we see the same picture. But in this, there are different things which are continuous going. It's just continuously going. There's no end to it. And it is spreading everywhere, no end, middle, or beginning. So so let's read from 15 to 18, and then Arjuna's description of Kala Rupa. That will be 19 to 31. Okay, so let's read up to 18, 15 to 18. Yes, Prabhuji. Shiva Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Pashyami Devanstava Devadehe
Pashyami Devam Tava Deva Dehe
Sarvamstada Bhuta Vishesha Sannan
Sarvam Tata Bhuta Vishesha Shanghan
Brahmanamisham Kamala Sasananstam
Brahmanan Asam Kamalashanastham
Rushimshcha Sarvanuраgamश्च Divyan.
Risham Sarvanurgamsha Divyan.
Very good. Text. Arjuna said, O my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on lotus flower as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents.
Hmm. Yes, Prabhu, 16.
16. अनेकबाहूदरवक्त्रनेत्रम्
अनेकबहुधरा
पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपम्
पश्यामि त्वं सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपम्
नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिम्
नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्त्वादिन्
पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपा
पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपा.
O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, eyes expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, no beginning. किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रिणं च
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रिणं च
तेजो राशिं सर्वतो दीप्तिमनन्तम्
तेजो राशिं सर्वतो दीप्तिमनन्तम्
पश्यामि त्वां दुर्निरीक्ष्यं समस्तात्
पश्यामि त्वं दुर्गिरशं समन्तात्
दीप्तानलर्कद्युतिम् अप्रमेयम्
दीप्तानलर्काद्युतिम् अपर्पमेयम्.
Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs.
And last.
त्वमक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यम्
त्वम् अक्षरं परमं वेदितव्यम्
त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम्
त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम्
त्वमव्ययः शाश्वतधर्मगुप्ता
त्वमव्ययः शाश्वतधर्मगुप्ता
सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे
सनातनस्त्वं पुरुषो मतो मे.
You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion.
So here I see that, so now Arjuna is just not, he's explaining what he's seeing, he's also like, his realization he's also sharing both, right? So of course you can see you are the supreme preimable object, right? So after seeing that, okay, I have not seen anything, he's must be the supreme preimable object, right? So is that realization, you are the ultimate resting place of all this universe, again the realization, you are inexhaustible. So that is the conclusion, because he says that, oh, this never ending, right? So it is the what he's observing, and then he's putting that word inexhaustible, and you are the oldest. So that is also again the realization, yeah, you are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of goddess. So I think this is most of these things are his Arjuna's realization, right? That is telling, that is my opinion. So he's telling, that is my opinion. Wonderful. So we'll end here. Or you are without religion. I think Arjuna is continuing after this also. Okay. So we'll stop at 18, and you can continue from here next class. Nitin Prabhu will be continuing for the. So I'll be out. I'll be back by January end. On January 30th, we'll be back. So probably the next time I'm going to see you, it will be February 1st. Okay, so any question, thoughts?
Yeah, good Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for joining. And yes, if possible, try to go in person to Nitin Prabhu's house. That will be good. That will keep him motivated. It's good to see people. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Recording.